I want to talk a moment about people that are the opposite sex as friends. Now, when you have a marriage, your spouse always comes first. This is God's rule and we are not allowed to break it. However, it is important to have friends of the opposite sex as long as it's appropriate. This teaches us boundaries and how to behave in appropriate situations with everybody. So it's okay to have friends that are of the opposite sex as long as you remember that the friend is married and that the friend is supposed to put their spouse first. Now, when you, somebody who's claiming to be a friend, starts to push prioritizing your friendship over that of your friend's marriage, then you become toxic and somebody that person should cut off. They should cut you off because you're now interfering in their marriage. And God tells us to prioritize our marriage like we prioritize God. He wants us to put our marriage above everything else except Him. This is such a big issue where things are concerned, especially where people that are jealous. With people that have really good marriages come in, because you have people that see what others have and they want that. And so we that are married have to battle that every day. Again, if you have somebody that's claiming to be a friend and they're pushing their friendship as a priority over your spouse's, that's somebody you should cut off immediately. That's not appropriate. It's very toxic. And it goes against the teachings of the word. This is so important. It helps to keep boundaries so that your spouse knows that they're prioritized over the person that's claiming to be the friend. Now, again, if they're pushing themselves as a friend, especially if they have financial gain, benefit from being a friend, this is why I tell people, do not ever mix business with pleasure. Because in the end, you have people that feel sorry for people that are treating them badly, and they will abuse you financially. And so when you see somebody that is in a position where they are gaining financially from somebody as an employee, and they are butting into your marriage, you should fire them immediately, because that's a toxic person, and they obviously have something to gain from coming in between you and your spouse. And that's not okay. That's, again, you treat your spouse how you want your spouse to treat you. And you treat your employer how you want your employer to treat your employee to treat you. That's vice versa. I don't want my employee thinking that I'm going to, try to steal their spouse or prioritize their spouse over my job that I have for them. So I know as a believer that they're supposed to put their spouse first. And if you have employment requirements that say, hey, you're supposed to put your employment first, then that should be already established. But nobody should ever, as a spouse, feel uncomfortable because of an employee or a friend. If that's the case, they're toxic, and you need to let go of them immediately and get them as far away from you as possible. God bless America. Have a blessed day. Back the badge and support the Purple Gang. That's out of respect.